What's going on, Paisanos? V here, coming at you with another market watch today. Normally I do a pre-BANLIST market watch. We go over a bunch of cards, people bitch in the comments, and then we move on like adults. Ideally, except the ones who complain in the comments because their deck might get hit because I made a prediction, which isn't going to come true, and their deck might get hit and they get upset. But I didn't get a chance to. The official BANLIST has came out, and here it is right here in front of us. The official Konami YuGiOh BANLIST extravaganza, whatever you want to call it, is here today. Now, me myself, I'm a big fan of Despia's, and yeah, if you're playing Despia's, you didn't get hit. It's a bunch of stuff happening over here, but more importantly, the market is what you want to know about. In fact, if you want to know more about the market, why don't you click my link down below and join the YuGiOh Market Watch Facebook page. We're a little over 11,000 members and growing every single day. The YuGiOh Market Watch Facebook page is where we post about cards that might go up or down in the value in the market. It's pretty much a living, breathing version of a market watch. Let's go into the first card. It's Change of Hearts. Now, obviously, Change of Hearts is a card that a lot of Yu-Gi-Oh players ran to and grabbed. Let me ask you the question, and comment down below. Is Change of Heart a card you're going to be running in your deck? It's an honest question. I mean, I think Change of Heart is a great card, but is it good enough to seek meta play? Now, I'm a little bit all over the place as far as that, because as much as I like Change of Hearts, we have it already. It's called Triple Tactics Talent. It's basically a Change of Heart that doesn't target, which is insanely important. When you look at Change of Heart, click on over here, just click on this random one from Legendary Collection 3 Yugi's World, and we'll talk about the price in a second. You have to target, which is a problem. But is it? Let me know in the comments down below. By the way, every version of Change of Heart is worth a ton of money. The Legendary Collection 3 Yugi's World, the Unlimiteds, are roughly around $75. If you want first edition versions, roughly around $81. Woo! Alright. Let's go over here and let's say you want original print first edition Metal Raiders Change of Heart. It says Magic card on it. See that? Magic card, not spell card. That's how you know it's original. Alright, so we're going to click on first edition. We're going to click on Unlimited, and we're going to see pretty nutty prices. Alright, besides the Portuguese, you got one over here. It's a little, that's okay, that one's ugly. This one over here is a little ugly. Alright, so roughly around $250 for a Change of Heart first edition. Not a big deal, right? I do think the price of Change of Hearts will be going down in value depending if it sees meta play. Do I think it's going to see meta play? Yes. But will it see enough to merit a $250 price tag even though it's original print OG first edition? Probably not. I do like Change of Hearts a lot. I think it's a great card, and I definitely am excited about it coming into the Yu-Gi-Oh meta. But for that price point, is it really worth it? That's the question everyone has to be asking themselves. There's a bunch of versions of the card. You can even get this one from Dark Beginning 2. This one right here from Dark Beginning 2, by the way. We'll go click on Light Play near mint. It's roughly around $60. Oh, it's $70, and it's dropping in value. Now, once again, Change of Heart is a phenomenal card, and I think a lot of Yu-Gi-Oh players will be playing it. But I don't think in the current meta we're in right now, where things specify you can't target this, you can't do this, you can't do that. A lot of you can't make this card not as good, but it will still see play. If that makes any sense to anybody. It kind of feels like Carpus Philester or even Regeki, depending on how you look at it. Does it see play? I guess so. But does it see play enough? Probably not. Up next we have Jet Synchron. Now this card is a little bit weird. This card coming out of Structure X Synchron Extreme right now has a price point of $2. After that one's gone, the price point of this card runs up roughly around $5. So yeah, one over here for $2 as of filming of this video, and then it goes to $5. Is anyone going to be running Jet Synchron? Now, this card used to be really good for like an Auroradon combo, but Auroradon got banned. Take that, Sorcerer players. You're going to have to learn how to play Sorcerers now. Auroradon.deck was really boring. I'm not a big fan of it. I felt like it was a really goofy combo that the opponent impermed or availed it at the right time. It kind of stopped you. If they're playing Sorcerers, they could do the Sorcerer combos, but it was just goofy. I'm not a big fan of things like that, like gimmicky, goofy things. Even though it was really meta relevant. To see Auroradon get hit makes me happy. But Jet Synchron, once again, let's go back to this card. Is it going to see play? Don't really know. Scapegoat at an OTS Song Pack 8 right now is at 3. And that's a big deal. A lot bigger than a lot of Yu-Gi-Oh players know. In fact, I'm not sure if anyone's really talking about the fact that Scapegoat is insanely good. This card right now is roughly around $100 on the market. Do you have your play set? Well, remember Saryuja Skull Dread? A card right now, which you probably by the time you're watching this video, you have no idea why I'm talking about this card. This card's insane. This is the reason why you want Scapegoat at 3, and this is the reason why we might see a lot of players playing this card. If you want to get a first and original print version of this card, it's still at $4, $5 with shipping included. For Saryuja Skull Dread. This card really didn't see as much play, kind of fell off, but with Scapegoat, this card actually might start seeing play again. It lets you get extra special summon. It lets you draw 4 and cycle 3 back into the deck. It does a lot of things. And yes, the meta wasn't really utilizing it as well before. But yeah, I think we're in the point of the meta right now where we can utilize Saryuja's Skull Dread. And it actually flows perfectly well with Scapegoat. I was shocked to see that this was unbanned and Scapegoat was unbanned. It's like Konami kind of forgot one of the reasons why Scapegoat was really broken to begin with. Don't worry about it. We're going to remind him. By we, I mean the entire YuGiOh meta, showing Konami why Scapegoat should stay banned. Or limited. But yeah, Saryuja's Skull Dread is definitely a very interesting card, and I do think that I might start seeing play. People are focusing on Scapegoat, buying it up, which is great. It's a beautiful looking Ultimate Rare, don't get me wrong. I want a play set. But that's the real card you really need to be focusing on. Alright. Performapal Monkey Board. This card spiked and is roughly around near $9. Is it going to do anything? No. Listen, I think Pendulums are a really good deck, don't get me wrong. I think with the new support coming out in Dimension Force, I think that makes them better. But is it enough to make them a tier 1 deck? I'm going to leave that question to you. I personally think it's not going to. I think Monkey Board is a really good card, but I feel like it's too little too late, and we're really shifting past the meta. We also have Cyber Angel Benta, another card, original print coming out, Dragon's Legend, Secret Rare. This card, yeah, did that. It's roughly around $19, $20. I guess people didn't hold their play sets. This card went as low as, like, I believe, let's go see here. What do we need to speculate? The market has this card roughly around $3. And now it's back up again. Is Drytron going to become meta again because of Cyber Angel Ben 10 getting semi-limited? No. Well, yes, but not really. Let me explain. I think Drytrons will never become tier 1 unless we see Evil off the ban list. Or 3 Ben 10. I think we need to go either one of those two to happen. Ben 10 at 2 is not Ben 10 at 3, it's Ben 10 at 2. And that does impact the deck to a degree. With that said, Drytrons are definitely tier 1.5. They fit perfectly into tier 1.5. For that's relatively new to the YuGiOh game, let me explain. Tier 1 is the best deck in the meta. BDIF, best deck in format. The best of the best is tier 1. With that said, we have tier 1.5. Now, tier 1.5 played by an average player will realistically be tier 2, which is an average deck, about tier 2. Tier 1.5 played by an exceptional player is tier 1. No doubt about it. That guy's a really good player. He knows his deck really well. He knows your deck. You're in trouble. That's a tier 1 deck he's playing. The same exact deck, Drytrons, piloted by the same exact player, will give you the same exact results as far as tier 1 and tier 2. So that's the best way to describe it. Once again, like I said, I think Cyber Angel Ben 10 is definitely 1.5. An exceptional player will carry this deck and get the original invite. An average player will play his deck at locals and maybe top 1 that one time, and they'll never let you live it down. Alright, next, Potter's Eyes Ultimate Rare at an OTS Launch Pack 8 got semi-limited. This is a big deal. Potter's Eyes right now, as the filming of this video, is $87. Let's give that refresh real quickly. Is it 87? I thought it was more. Let's see. I mean, 87 is still really good. Okay, 89. Okay, that's fine. Potter's Eyes is $89. It had a little bit of a spike up, and I feel like the YuGiOh playbase is realizing they're holding the eyes and going, is this a good card? Is this meta worthy? And I think that Potter's Eyes is kind of in that weird in between right now. The only players that are really playing 3 Potter's Eyes is Grand Module players, and Grand Module players are literally gambling addicts that just go, please let me draw it, please let me draw it. God damn it. Okay, next game. Like, that's Grand Module players in a nutshell. With that said, when they do draw it, there's probably a good chance you're gonna get your cheeks clapped. Going back to Potter's Eyes, though, most players that play Potter's Eyes played the card at 2. Now, this is really interesting because we never really looked into Potter's Eyes for an entire format. We kind of put it aside. Very few decks ran the 1 of Potter's Eyes. Seeing the card now go to 2, well, people are now starting to consider Potter's Eyes. Is it worth it? And let me know if you're playing it in your deck down below. All right, Crystal Needlefiber went to 1. It got limited. Okay, sure. Konami, you can add some more cards to the limit list. Axical Talker, Borlord Savage Dragon, Borosaur Dragon. Like, what are you doing? Link Karibo, like, why not? Link Spider. Listen, Crystal Needlefiber going to 1 really does nothing except for those decks that were using the Auroradon combo. Konami basically took a bat and beat Auroradon combo to the ground. It's gone, it's dead, it's good because nobody really wanted it. With that said, Needlefiber to 1 is pretty good still. A lot of YuGiOh players can still utilize 1 Needlefiber and still do a lot of crazy, cool combos and plays. And more than likely, that will be continuing to happen as Crystal Needlefiber still is in the meta. With that said, Needlefiber going to 1, they really didn't change the price point of Ultra Needlefiber. And I don't want to say about Ultra, because Ultra got the reprint. The value of Ultra was like $5. It's super low. Goes to the past, got opened up Oblivion. So the real Needlefiber with value is Ultimate Rare Crystal Needlefiber. The current valuation of this card is holding this card roughly around $85. It's kind of undervalued, to be honest with you, and I do think this card will go up in time. Yatagarasu got a reprint, and for the lulz, it got a reprint, got off the ban list. And for the lulz, let's see where first edition Yatagarasu, oh, okay, $145. It's actually going down in value, as weird as that sounds. Yatagarasu original print at a Legacy of Darkness first edition is a great card, but will anybody utilize it? It's a good question. I really don't know, to be honest. I don't know what deck can abuse Yatagarasu. And I would love it if you could comment down below and let me know, because I have zero idea where this deck can really just fit in there. I have no idea, I'll be honest. But the best deck in the meta still, Despia, untouched. Despia and okay, that card over there. That card over there is roughly around $24, and you need this card to beat Sword Souls. Now, Sword Souls are even easier than ever because they can't snake their way into Rodon combo. They're going to have to make regular Sword Soul combo. And if they end on their ideal combo, this is basically how you're going to beat the game. In fact, Masquerade of Blazing Dragon, another card which desperately needs a reprint, which is at $35 right now. This card is yet another way for Despia players to win the game. You're going to need 2 of these, by the way. You don't need 3, you don't need 1, you need 2. 1's not enough, 3's too many, and 2's exactly what you need. So, if you're like me and you are playing Despias, there's a lot of crazy cool builds, especially now with the current ban list, and we're going to see Despias do this weird evolution as it kind of goes back and forth between what's the best build of Despias. It's definitely the best deck in format, it's definitely a tier 1 deck, and it's going to go back and forth. Now, I might do a deck list, I might do a YuGiOh deck tier video, just breaking down, talking about what's the best deck, because I kind of have a decent idea and perspective of what the best deck is, and I really want to break down and reiterate again 1.5, because a lot of players, especially new YuGiOh players, have zero idea what I'm talking about when I say 1.5, and it's a big deal. Like, it's actually bigger than you believe. I think 1.5 takes into account of a lot of decks that players might consider either tier 1 or tier 2. Like I said, if you're an exceptional player, that tier 1.5 deck is not tier 2, it's tier 1, easily. That tier 1.5 deck, if you're an average player, that's tier 2. Sorry, but like, you can't make mistakes with 1.5. With tier 1, you can make some mistakes. It's fine. You're playing the best deck in the game. You'll probably draw the out. Alright, up next, we have Flundereeze. Flundereeze is in a weird space between tier 1 and 1.5. I think this deck, if played decently, can get players a regional invite win this season. With that said, if you make a mistake with Flundereeze, you're pretty much screwed. And I'm not sure if you have much wiggle room. You have a little wiggle room, but not a lot. With that said, looking at Flundereeze, they are relatively dirt cheap. Flundereeze and the advent of adventure, this card actually is still roughly around $14. It's probably the most expensive Flundereeze card. It's an ultra rare in your deck that you're going to get. Obviously, you want to go ahead and grab an N-Pen. Cigarette N-Pens out of Burst of Destiny. This card's like $9. Some people play 2, some people play 1. Is Flundereeze a deck that's a sleeper deck this format? It's a good question because I really don't know the answer. Is this a deck that you want to get? Is this a deck you want to build? Well, the problem with Flundereeze is, if you're going to play Flundereeze, you're going to need Pot of Prosperity. And Pot of Prosperity is not cheap. But I will say Flundereeze is definitely a really good deck. And I feel like in the hands of a really good player, Flundereeze can get you that win. This is how you play it, how you build it, and once again, a little bit of luck, RNG. Alright. Up next, Fire Formation Tanki went to semi-unlimited, which I felt like they could have unlimited this card and nothing would have happened. Fire Formation Tanki is a phenomenal card, and I feel like a lot of players are excited the fact that this card's off the ban list. The current price point of this card is roughly around $115 a copy. The problem with Fire Formation Tanki is what deck does it really fit into? I personally kept my Ultimate Rare Tankies because I like playing in older Yu-Gi-Oh formats, but right now with 5% Tanki, I'm not playing Lyralist, I'm not playing Birds. You're going to get absolutely bodied by any Despia player playing that deck. I'm just throwing it out there. Unless you play, hey, hold on a second, Lyralist Despia, which is a decent deck for players that know what you really want to do. So I think that 5% Tanki is a great card. I think Despia Tri Brigade is not a bad deck. I think it's a really good deck, and maybe one of the maybe it will be one of the sleepers of the format. But as of right now, 2 Tanki should have been 3. Salamangreat Circle got off the ban list, and yes, Mirage Dalio did as well. But you know, Circle's kind of a bigger deal. Salamangreat Circle filming this video with shipping is roughly around $5 a copy. Do you have yours? And it only came in a structure deck, so burner. Salamangreats are not bad deck, and I really do think they fit perfectly into tier 2 slot. They are a great example of a tier 2 deck. Yes, they have their initial combos. Yes, they have their initial board state. And yes, they've been around a while, so everyone knows exactly what you want to do with them. But they're a deck that your opponent can't just go, oh, whatever, I'll sleep on this deck. I'll beat it next turn. You can't sleep on Salamangreats. If you sleep on them and your hand's not that good, they will smoke you out immediately. So you better know how to play against this deck. You better know what this deck does, and you better be really realistically reading all these cards, because these cards, this deck right here can easily beat you if you sleep on it. Trishula Dragon Ice Bear was unlimited, but I mean, let's be honest with you. Nobody's playing triple Trishula deck anymore. I mean, maybe Mermel's, maybe, I don't know. My favorite version of Trishula Dragon Ice Bear is the one at Ultimate 4, and I'd like to know which one you like. I like the Ultimate Rare too, but DT4 is just, it's something about it. It's just being insanely hard to get, and if you have a copy, you're good like that. You know what I'm saying? Makes me happy. Trishula Dragon Ice Bear looks like it went down in value, but I mean, is it really down in value? Let's see. $247. I thought that one's gone, but oh, it's a heavy play. I'm sorry. For a light you played, $275. Yeah, it's tanking in value. All right. So we have Sword Souls, and I've been dogging on Sword Souls throughout this entire video, subtly if you haven't picked up on it. But I will say this, I do think Sword Souls are a great deck. I think a lot of Yu-Gi-Oh players are going to be getting their invites left and right with Sword Souls. It's still a deck that needs to be respected. And it's a deck that belongs in a tier 1 slot. I think it's a guaranteed tier 1 deck. No doubt in my mind does this deck belong anywhere less than tier 1. Now, does Sword Souls have a good matchup against Despias? It depends. What did they draw? Some Despia plays can open an average hand, and then you're going to be going back and forth. Some Despia plays can be open Super Poly, and a Despia monster. And you're going to have a Cheese Out on board, and you're going to realize that is a horrible thing to have on board against Despias. The problem with Sword Souls is their best cards sometimes aren't the best in given situations. And I feel like a lot of good Sword Soul players are going to realize that. I do think Sword Soul prices will be going down in value as Yu-Gi-Oh players dump Sword Souls to pick up Despias, which is a little bit easier to play front end, but you know, mid game's infinitely harder. But I think Yu-Gi-Oh players might be doing that. But Sword Souls still is a really good deck. And I guarantee you, I wouldn't be surprised if we see Sword Souls just straight out win entire Yu-Gi-Oh events moving forward in the future. It's because the really good Sword Soul players aren't going anywhere. They're just improving on what they already have. And what they have is an amazing broken engine that is Sword Souls. Listen, I think Strikers were one of those decks that were not touched at this ban list whatsoever. In fact, even more so, Strikers got Therons, which everyone just kind of forgot about, but it's a real thing. Therons and Strikers mean Strikers get an Omni Gate without really having to go through too much of a mess to get an Omni Gate. Strikers right now is probably the best sleeper deck in the meta. If you own Strikers, you need to get Theron Regulus. Trust me about this. That card's insane. You need to get that Ultra Field Spell, probably about 2, maybe 3, just to be played safe. And Therons and Strikers will show you how broken this deck is. You get an Omni Gate just right out the gate with Therons, and you have basic Striker engine. That is absolutely insane, and a deck can do it so simply and easily. Seriously, consider it, pick it up. It's a deck that's really good. Oh, yeah, and by the way, Strikers smack the crap out of Despias. I'm a Despia player, and I love Despias, but Strikers are a huge problem. And if you say you're not and you're a Despia player, well, play against better Striker players. Trust me, you'll learn. Listen, I'm going to be talking about this website soon. This website I created, I'm going to be selling field centers out of this website. I'm going to be giving the links up for everybody soon as well, so keep an eye out for that. I believe the stuff for the field centers should be coming in this Tuesday. I'm going to do a live stream on Twitch TV /YGOPaisano, showing everything off and making the website go live once again as I'm doing the live stream. So if you want to get your hands on these field centers while they last, go ahead and check out me on Twitch. The live stream's going to happen this Tuesday. I stream through, no matter what, though, playing a bunch of decks on remote duels, so definitely keep an eye out for that. And these are some absolutely gorgeous field centers. Field centers I know a lot of Yu-Gi-Oh players want to get their hands on, like the El Shoro Contract Field Center, the Ghost Rare one. I mean, look at this beautiful sideways Judge Field Center. I don't think this one even exists up until now. Each field center is done in a CR rarity, so it's a lot. It has that CR foiling in the front of it, and it is beautiful, absolutely clean. And like I said, these will go available, I believe, on Tuesday, hopefully without shipping delays. And if you want to get your hands on one of these, you're going to want to do it soon because these will sell out that fast. Anyway, I really appreciate you guys watching my videos. Let me know what you thought about the ban list, what deck you're playing, and comment down below about anything else. It's your boy V, and you boys all have a great day.